Hello and welcome back to my garage. Today we're going to do the small stuff on the Renault before it can get the MOT, hopefully. So today I'm going to change the broken spring in here. The spring broke actually on the test run, so that was no good. I didn't notice it, but the MOT man of course did. And yeah, that needs to be changed. This turned out to be a problem, of course, because these springs are no longer available. I cannot find them anywhere. Some places actually list them as inventory, but it's not the right size. And you cannot just use the normal Renault 5 because it's a different height. So I was pretty close to actually beginning to lower the car, which I didn't really want to do. But if it was the only solution, then I would have to. But luckily I found someone locally, the same guy I bought the fog lights off actually, who got a set of springs. They are old. They are rusty, but they are complete. And for now, I'm going to fit one of those and then get the car through the MOT. And then I will see if I can maybe get some better ones or lower it or something like that. Or maybe just get them blasted and powder coated. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to change that today. We're also going to change the rear shock absorbers. And then I will go to the MOT. This video will not include any material about going to the MOT because, as I told you earlier, the number plates for going to MOT doesn't seem to allow me to begin to film stuff, so I'm not going to do that. So this video will only be about fixing those two things. Then in the next video, hopefully it will be the first videotaped test drive of the car. The car seems to drive pretty well, but there is a lot of adjustments needed still. I think it's over boosting a little bit, but I'm not going into boost, but it seems as though it rises quite quickly. I have lowered it on the wastegate for the time being because I'm still running the car in. The first plan was to drive it in, to drive around 1500 kilometers run in, but it seems as though that is way too much and not necessary. So I think I'm going to only do 500 kilometers, change the oil again, and then slowly begin to use the engine right. And keep a close eye on the boost gate because I do not want it to be over boosting. It's not built for that. So I might even end up installing the over boost valve in the boost hose. That cuts boost at around 1 bar and it should not go up there. Not on this setup at least. So, but let's get going. I'm going to take the wheel off and then take you back. Next up, I'm going to loosen both of those and take them off. And the last one. They were very tight and hard to get out, but now they are out. Then we're going to loosen up the two nuts up here, this and this. And then it should be able to just lower down, I think. And it is. And I'm not sure if we have the space to actually get it out without taking off more stuff, but I am going to try at least, because it would make it a lot easier for me, or at least quicker, if this was possible. And it is. We got it out. This is where it broke. And this is the old one. This is the new one. This is not a phase 2 model, so this is a phase 1. I think the spring is the same, but the rest of it is not the same. So I'm going to just take the spring off and put it over here using these clamps. And take care when working with springs because there's a lot of force involved in this, and this can be quite dangerous. Whatever you do, take care. These do not seem to be under that much tension though, because yeah, they just don't seem that way. But some cars, they are very high tension. This is of course a broken spring, so that makes the tension even lower, of course. That is the entire problem of this. And I'm a bit in a hurry today, therefore I don't think the movie is going to be very detailed. And that is because I would really much like to get this car to the MOT station today. And that means I need to be there in an hour. So a bit quickly. And you need something to hold this one still so it doesn't just spin. And then we should be able to just take it off. And as you can see, although they work, they are very worn and very rusty. It would be so nice to change them this at some point, but I am running low on money for this project because I keep on buying so many mopeds, which is a problem. I'm gonna do the same to the other one, swap the spring over and put it all back together and take you back. So here we go. The spring is ready to be installed, and that is just the reverse of the taking it out. So this should be enough for it to go to the MOT, and it will drive fine with this. But it would be nice to have a new spring. It really would. But and also the tower up here. But it's solid. It's just rusty. So yeah, I will do that now. So let's change the rear shock absorber. I'm only gonna show one of the sides, but it's actually very simple on a car like this. First, we're gonna loosen this. The hard part is definitely to loosen stuff in this instance. And this one was easy so far. That's one off. No reason to drop your bolts, but it wasn't on purpose. The next one is right here. And it's a 16, and you need a 19 on the other side for the retaining nut, which is a bit difficult to get at. And then hopefully we can just zip it off with this. So that was pretty easy, and then it's just a matter of putting the new one on exactly the same way. It is best practice to actually let the car down on the ground before tightening up the bolts, because otherwise the rubber will be stretched in resting position of the car, and that is not ideal. So the best thing is to lower it down so the axle is where it's supposed to be when the car is resting, and then you tighten up the bolts. I'm not going to show you that right now, but that's an important bit to avoid rubbers being worn out before time. The old one makes some weird sounds and have some flat spots. It's actually not as bad as I thought, but we're going to change that anyway. If anyone knows the normal ride height for the rear on a Renault 5 GT Turbo, then please write it in a comment, because I think maybe that the car has been lowered on the rear. It seems as though when I put the new springs in the front, that the car got a bit higher than normal. That could be due to sacking of the old springs, but maybe it's just lowered. I would like to know that. I'm still considering, or I would like to get some other springs for the front, because they are old, the ones I put on, and they are rusty, and I do expect them to actually crack at some point. But because you cannot get them from new, apparently, I could end up going for a lowering spring. But I would like to lower the car as little as possible, but we'll see. This will be all for this video. I'm going to the MOT today, and the next video will hopefully be about driving this car. And yeah, I keep my fingers crossed. See you in the next one.